Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Hey, so check this out. Diddy has filed a lawsuit against Courtney Burgess, Ariel Mitchell, and Nexstar Media. If y'all don't know who Courtney Burgess is, he is the individual who has stated that he has parts of Kim Porter's diary and has X tapes. Ariel is actually representing Courtney Burgess, and then Nexstar Media. Well, once we get into the complaint, you guys will understand. But he has sued them for defamation. In my humble opinion, he needs to focus on this criminal trial that's coming up in May. He has been putting out document after pleading, stating that he does not have a right to a fair trial because he can't do this. And now that he has the Discovery laptop, he has access to the Discovery. He is focused on a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit. Yeah, that's right, a defamation lawsuit. Really? Let's tap on into this one. So the nature of this action, it clearly states as follows. This case is about defendant's willful scheme to fabricate and broadcast outrageous lies concerning Mr. Combs and then to leverage those falsehoods to gain social media fame, enrich themselves, and strip Mr. Combs of his reputation, livelihood, and a right to a fair trial. Yeah, I'm going to keep my comment to myself. Social media protagonists, including but not limited to defendant Burgess and Mitchell, have for months been fueling a media frenzy, fabricating outlandish claims and stirring up baseless speculation about Mr. Combs, vying to outdo each other in a shameless competition to draw attention to themselves, with no regard for the truth. In this pitiful spectacle, all pretense of objectivity has been abandoned as a global audience feasts on at the all-you-can-eat buffet of wild lies and conspiracy theories. Defendants are among the worst perpetrators in this offensive scenario. They eagerly court every opportunity to broadcast blatant falsehoods, pretending they have proof that Mr. Combs engaged in heinous acts, knowing that no such proof exists. As a result, millions of people have come up to believe in the made up evidence that defendants have falsely described and vouched for. The torrent of lies and the immeasurable harm and prejudice it is causing to Mr. Combs must stop. Defendant Burgess falsely claimed that he possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in these SA of celebrities and minors. Burgess repeatedly repeated this false claim many times to anyone who would listen, including reporters for major news outlets, including News Nation, which recklessly repeated and amplified his lies as if they were true. Thus, Burgess' baseless lies were rebroadcast on social and traditional media platforms that reach millions of viewers in the United States and abroad. His attorney, Mitchell, repeated those lies. Like Burgess, Mitchell knew that her client's claims were false or, at a minimum, was utterly reckless in disregarding their falsity. Because no such tape exists, and because Mitchell never saw any video depicting Mr. Combs sexually abusing anyone, adult or minor, Mitchell's many false assertions that Burgess possessed such videos were either knowingly blatant falsehoods or reckless false statements made as a direct result of Mitchell's inexcusable failure to investigate her client's outrageous lies. Burgess peddled these false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs to promote himself on social media. Mitchell did the same. Both seek to capitalize on the resulting publicity for financial gain. Together, Burgess, Mitchell, and News Nation have caused profound reputational and economic injury and severe prejudice to Mr. Combs. In this action, Mr. Combs seeks money damages, including punitive damages, for the harm the defendant's false and defamatory statements have caused. This is funny. All right, let's see what's happening. Sean Combs became famous for his extraordinary and historic achievements as a musician and music producer, hip hop and presario, record label owner, fashion innovator and icon, path breaking spirits entrepreneur, and committed philanthropist. Mr. Combs is among the most accomplished businessmen of his generation. In September 2024, Mr. Combs was indicted in the Southern District of New York on federal racketeering and ex trafficking charges. Mr. Combs entered a plea of not guilty to those charges on September 17, 2025. And emphatically and unequivocally denies the charges against him and is preparing to contest the government's evidence, such as it is at trial beginning on May 5th, 2025. Mr. Combs has faith in the integrity of the judicial system and is confident the jury will acquit him. I'll keep my comments to the end. Defendant Burgess has been described as a one time industry bit player and a fringe character. In recent months, seeking a capitalize on the media's insatiable appetite for a celebrity scandal, Burgess has gone to great length to invent and publicize outrageous falsehoods about Mr. Combs. In media interviews, Burgess claims he has worked in the music industry for decades, yet there exists no public record of any professional achievements, and he left no detectable footprint on the industry prior to his recent campaigns to malign Mr. Combs. His malicious conduct, which according to the New York Times has only amped up the circus like frenzy surrounding Mr. Combs' case, is intended to garner publicity and profit from the attention surrounding Mr. Combs' legal proceedings. Burgess has never met Mr. Combs and has never had any relationship with anyone in Mr. Combs' family. Nevertheless, Burgess has claimed on multiple occasions that Kim Porter, the mother of four children with Combs, who was unalived in 2018, provided him with copy of her memoir and videos depicting Mr. Combs sexually assaulting inebriated celebrities and minors. Those close to Miss Porter, including her children and her roommate for over 20 years, have never heard of Mr. Burgess before he made the utterly implausible and completely false claim. Yet Burgess has made these false claims numerous times to the press and in social media appearances. In one such video, broadcast October 31st, 2024, on the Atwood Unleashed YouTube channel, Burgess elaborated on his false claim that he received these materials directly from Kim Porter. Host Sean Atwood, whose YouTube channel boasts over 946,000 subscribers, including Upon Information and Belief, numerous subscribers in New York, as Burgess, Upon Information and Belief, must have known, introduced Burgess in one interview by noting that he has certainly been making waves on the internet. Atwood also noted that we've had so much interest in this one and promised to get down with some crazy things that Courtney has personally experienced. On the broadcast, Burgess falsely claimed that Miss Porter enlisted the help of a music industry mutual acquaintance to put her files in Burgess's hand. Specifically, Burgess claimed that this individual called Burgess and told him, "I got something for you, Kim. Told me to give to you. She got something she wants to work with." Burgess went on to claim, again falsely, that the same individual later met Burgess in New York and delivered to him the first of several flash drives containing the memoir and videos that Miss Porter supposedly intended to have even though, even according to Burgess, Miss Porter had no more than a passing acquaintance with Burgess. Like, how can you say that this man is falsely saying these things? Like, how can you prove that he's lying? Anywho's, during the interview, Atwood posted still images that he, his co-host Tommy Scoville, and Burgess insinuated had come from videos that Burgess falsely claimed Kim Porter had provided to him. They described one as depicting Justin Bieber, a famous recording artist, kissing an unidentified male. Atwood asked, "Is this picture legit?" Burgess responded, "Yes, yes, definitely." Scoville ventured a guess as to the identity of the unidentified male, speculating that it's one of those music X, because, allegedly a lot of those guys, I mean, that's why they're in there. They're weirdos like the rest of them. Having labeled all music industry executives as weirdos, Scoville then asked Burgess, "How freaked out were you the first time you got a look at some of the images? Shocker or what?" Burgess responded that he was freaked out because my daughter was a listener of Justin Bieber, you understand. Burgess stated that Bieber was a child at the time. Burgess characterized Bieber as a victim who loved it, loved being treated like that, and that's what happens sometimes when you're a kid. Burgess went on to compare Mr. Combs to Lucifer, claiming that Mr. Combs, like Lucifer, destroyed bodies, he destroys careers. He could get you where you want to be at, but you're going to give up the back end. Child. Burgess, Atwood, and Scoville also comment on an image that appeared to depict Mr. Combs with his arm around an adult woman's shoulder. Despite the absence of any indication in the image of the untoward conduct, Burgess suggested that the woman was underage. "I think she's about 18 right here. She looks about 18." Following on Burgess' comment, Schofield falsely suggested that the picture evidence sexual misconduct with minors. Yeah, it's just disturbing how the number of people who appear to be underage in all of these things, I think that's probably what we're going to see on the superseding indictments. It's got to be, man. It just keeps coming back to the underage thing again and again. It's terrifying. Burgess and Schofield's statements about these images on the Atwood Unleashed podcast were specifically and maliciously intended to convince viewers falsely that Burgess possessed and Atwood Schofield had seen evidence that Mr. Combs had engaged in SA of celebrities and minors, even though they knew the claims were false when they made them. On the same broadcast, Burgess insinuated falsely that talking about Mr. Combs and the fake memoir and video put him in danger for his life. Burgess also describes his efforts to market the fake Porter memoir on Amazon.com, which he initially gave the ghoulish title Kim's Lost Words. After the book was denounced by Miss Porter's family and others as a fake, Amazon pulled the volume from its website. Subsequently, Burgess marketed another equally false and defamatory version of the book titled Kim Porter Tell It All on a different website, www.jamal-millwood.com. Burgess described the second version as R rated in contrast to the earlier PG version of the fake memoir. Upon information and belief, sometimes in or around September 2024, Burgess contacted Mitchell, seeking to team up with the lawyer in an attempt to legitimize and or profit from his outrageous lies. Mitchell is a civil litigator at her infamous law firm, named Law Firm. On her firm's website, she boasts that her practice focuses on high profile cases, including claims of SA perpetrated by a celebrity. In or around 2021, Mitchell brought a lawsuit against plaintiff and the celebrity musician Trey Songz on behalf of a woman claiming SA by Trey Songz. In 2022, a witness in the lawsuit testified that Mitchell tried to bribe her to lie about witnessing the purported assault and being assaulted herself. What? This is wild. In or around 2022, Mitchell brought a $20 million lawsuit against the rapper Chris Brown on behalf of a woman claiming Brown raped her. After Brown posted a series of text messages and voicemails reflecting a consensual relationship with the plaintiff, Mitchell withdrew. Now, this is what you call not doing your due diligence before you file a lawsuit. In the summer of 2024, Mitchell filed lawsuits against plaintiff on behalf of an adult entertainer who alleged she had been ex-trafficked by Mr. Combs. I think that is it Andrea English? I forgot. It's one of those. After filing the lawsuit, Mitchell launched a media tour in which she repeatedly promoted herself as an authority on the federal grand jury investigation into Mr. Combs, including an interview with TMZ Live, during which Mitchell sat in front of a propped up copy of issue of Vibe magazine with Mr. Combs on the cover and represented that she would very shortly be in position to comment on the investigation. Mitchell has brought at least two other lawsuits against Mr. Combs. To date, even though Mitchell has not served either of those lawsuits, she has spoken out about them extensively to the media. Here's the thing with that: you're not coming out your cell to accept service. Come out your cell and get those lawsuits, and then you would know exactly what those lawsuits are about. But anywho, in exchange for press appearances to discuss the allegations against Mr. Combs, Mitchell has demanded luxury accommodations, including first class flights to New York City, a minimum 2 night stay at a 4-star minimum hotel, on site hair, makeup services, meals, and snacks, and unspecified materials fees. She has insisted, moreover, that such interviews must occur in New York City. Okay, yeah, you're doing too much, lady. After Burgess engaged her, Mitchell continued peddling false claims to various media outlets. For example, in a television interview with News Nation, upon information and belief at its studio in New York City, that was broadcast on or about September 27, 2024, Mitchell falsely stated that there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood being shopped around into individuals in Hollywood. I think I remember that. Presumably referencing Burgess or one of his affiliates, Mitchell continued, one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video that we're in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became public knowledge. Mitchell described the request as a catching unalive and stated that Mr. Combs was in the tape and this other person was, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Mitchell falsely confirmed that the video exists, that it's real, and that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I could tell the video is graphic in nature. With no evidentiary support, the News Nation host, speaking about Mr. Combs' home, then said to Mitchell, it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Mitchell falsely confirmed this and then further state that based on her review of the supposed false evidence, it doesn't seem like the person knows they're being videotaped. It's like they're being uh recorded. Here's the thing with this, and I know that Combs' attorney written this complaint. However, when the feds raided the house, they got a lot of footage from the cameras. So I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know. These statements were false. Mitchell never possessed any graphic images, including Mr. Combs and any celebrity, was never able to confirm the existence of any such video of Mr. Combs, was never in a position to confirm that any celebrity was recorded in an act with Mr. Combs, and thus knew or recklessly disregarded that her statements were false and that when she made false when she made them. News Nation, upon information and belief, conducted no investigation before broadcasting the false allegations, though it easily could have done so. Mitchell also told News Nation on the broadcast about another client, a woman who alleged that Mr. Combs sexually assaulted her in Northern California in 2018. The client's allegations are also false. Mitchell falsely represented that her client's fabricated claims were corroborated, even though Mitchell knew they were not. Specifically, Mitchell falsely stated, "We also have a police report that was made in 2018." Later in the interview, the host repeated Mitchell's assertion, emphasizing about the purported police reports. "You guys actually have one?" The host then asked, "Are we going to be able to see it?" Mitchell falsely confirmed that she would produce the report. She answered the host, "Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made." These statements, in which Mitchell claimed to possess a police report corroborating her client's fabricated allegations, were false, and Mitchell knew they were false when she made them. That I agree with, because I remember when she said it, and when she filed the lawsuit, I didn't see no complaints attached to it. Roughly 2 weeks after News Nation broadcast Mitchell filed the lawsuit she had previewed. Contrary to her false assertions, the lawsuit did not attach any police report. Subsequently, the Walnut Creek Police Department denied having any involvement in the allegations made by Mitchell's client. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office released a statement that they thoroughly investigated the accusations and determined the claims were unfounded. This ain't good. News Nation broadcast a September 27, 2024 interview with Mitchell without fact checking Mitchell's false and injurious accusations. News Nation did not even reach out to Mr. Combs' representations for comment. Burgess and Mitchell's repeated false and defamatory claims that Burgess possessed videos depicting Mr. Combs' SA celebrities, including minors, led federal prosecutors to subpoena him to a grand jury sitting in New York, New York. On the day he appeared before the grand jury, Mitchell and Burgess gave an interview on the courthouse steps, during which they acknowledged that U.S. Marshals had visited his residence to ensure compliance with the subpoena. In this and subsequent press and social media appearances, Burgess and Mitchell continued to repeat false and defamatory claims that Burgess possessed videos depicting Mr. Combs sexually assaulting celebrities, including minors. For example, on or about October 31st, 2024, Burgess and Mitchell appeared on News Nation's Bansfield show, also broadcast on YouTube. The host introduced the interview by announcing that Burgess just testified before a federal grand jury. He said he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence of Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos features 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The host went on to note that because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos, were allegedly victims of X crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. The statement was false, and the News Nation host knew it was false, or at minimum recklessly disregarded whether the statements were true or false, because she had never seen such videos, because they do not exist. During the broadcast, Burgess and Mitchell confirmed that Burgess had been subpoenaed to a federal grand jury in Manhattan. In response to the host's questioning, Burgess falsely stated that all 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, two to three, possibly 3, appeared to be minors. All appeared inebriated, and all, to be honest, were victims of SA. Burgess also repeated his false statements about the fake memoir. The host asked him, "Do you know if the notes from the book really were Kim Porter?" Burgess responded, "Yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it." Okay. I'm just thinking because I forgot he did say that she called him. Yeah, this is weird. Show if she did call you, then show the phone records where she called you, or at least the number she supposedly called from. In another interview, Burgess claimed the federal law enforcement seized the flash drives from his home. This too was false. What? They just out here lying. On October 7, 2024, Mitchell also falsely claimed that she had done research indicating that baby oil may be used as a conduit for transmitting drugs mixed into the oil to another person for the purpose of incapacitating them. Mitchell suggested, moreover, that Mr. Combs did this to one of her clients, mixed rugs with baby oil and dosed her client with it, thereby lowering her defenses. That statement was a lie. Mitchell performed no such research, and even if she had, there is no scientific basis for asserting that baby oil could be infused with rugs and to incapacitate anyone. I thought they did said that they did a test and they found that. Somebody please drop that in the comments. I'm gonna do my research too. Again, Mitchell knew or should have known that her statements were false when she made them. Mitchell made statements throughout the interview that were unambiguously intended to convince viewers not only that Burgess was telling the truth, but also that she had independently corroborated his claims and was vouching for him. Mitchell made similar statements on or about the same day as the Banfield YouTube podcast during a separate interview she and Burgess gave outside of Federal District Court in Manhattan. In the interview, the reporter asked, "I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview, so just to clarify, you can back that up with actual footage?" Mitchell responded, "We have, yeah, it's things that we have." Mitchell intended the statement to convince viewers that Burgess' false claims about Mr. Combs were true, even though she knew or recklessly disregarded at the time that his claims was false. In her shameless pursuit of the spotlight, Mitchell repeated these known lies in a documentary, The Making of a Bad Boy, that aired on NBC's streaming platform Peacock on January 14, 2025. In that documentary, Mitchell endorsed the ludicrous allegations of her client Burgess, stating that Burgess has done interviews where he purported to his own several flash drives that included X tapes with 8 distinct individuals, including A-list celebrities and Diddy, all engaged in X. That's why he came out with this lawsuit, that defamation. He seen Chris Brown say, "Oh, Chris Brown sued for a documentary. Let me go ahead and file suit." But that documentary probably made him look bad, and that's why he pissed. He believes that these people were intoxicated and that they have not have known that they were being recorded. Then explicitly endorsing Burgess' known lies as truths, Mitchell added, and Courtney ultimately handed over the video to the federal government. These statements were completely false. Mitchell knew these statements were false because no such video was ever turned over to the government because no such video exists. Why are these folks lying? Mitchell did not stop there. She continued to lend credence to Burgess' lies, asserting that Combs took these videos, which she knew did not exist, so that he could wield power over purported subjects. It was to advance his influence and his power because now I have them on video where I can say, "I'm going to take this to your wife. I'll take this to your husband, or I'll take this to public, and I'll ruin you if you don't do this for me." During the interview in The Making of a Bad Boy, Mitchell shamelessly promoted herself as a lawyer who had filed several cases against Sean Combs for SA and asserted with no basis in fact and with utter disregard for the truth that Combs is a man who has done awful things to hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Defendants eagerly peddled these lies to enrich themselves. Burgess has profited from his fake Kim Porter memoir, which prior to being pulled down from the Amazon website briefly rose to the top of its bestsellers list. What? Burgess' craven willingness to profit from the fabricated memoir proves that he is callously indifferent to the emotional distress of Miss Porter. Miss Porter's children and has nothing but contempt for the feelings of Miss Porter's extended family and many friends who were heartbroken by her untimely unaliving. Mitchell has also sought the profit from her false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs. Mitchell has seized every opportunity to promote herself in the media and has insisted on valuable benefits and payments in exchange for interviews, including first class air travel, 4-star hotel accommodations, hair and makeup allowances, and a materials fee for copies of, among other things, the man letter sent on behalf of one of her clients who sued Mr. Combs. You could tell the difference. I don't know what Mitchell's game is. I I don't know. But compare her to Tony Busby. News Nation has likewise profited from repeating and amplifying Burgess's and Mitchell's lies, drawing viewers and promoting its programming based on wholly unsubstantiated lies that would have been revealed as false had News Nation conducted even the most modest fact checking. Defendants made false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs, knowing that they were false and with reckless disregard of their falsity. Defendants made false and defamatory statements in bad faith as part of a deliberate effort to damage Mr. Combs' reputation, undermine his businesses, and by painting him as a debauch and a pedophile to poison the public's perception of him and deprive him of a fair trial. Sir, that has already been done. Defendants had no good faith for claiming that Burgess possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in the essay of anyone. Burgess purposefully made up videos and told hideous lies about Mr. Combs, and Mitchell and News Nation either knew that Burgess's claims were false or made no effort to verify the truth of those false claims. So it's kind of like, if you say something on TV and people should be like these news companies, they are able to fact check these things before they kind of put it out there to the public, just like during the debate where either party said something and then afterwards no, I think it was sometimes no, it was afterwards they were fact checking and trying to see what was true, what was not true. This is crazy. um We're almost done. So, defendant's malicious lies have materially injured Mr. Combs. Let's see how it injured him, y'all. It has suffered significant reputational economic harm. People who have heard and believed defendants' lies have accused Combs on social media that is consumed by hundreds of millions of viewers each and every day of being a debauch monster and a pedophile. Moreover, pretty much, honestly, I did not get my thoughts and opinions from Courtney Burgess or Ariel Mitchell. It was from all the other stuff that was being said. So that's a lie. Moreover, many viewers on social media posts in which defendants' falsehoods are published and republished post harassing and threatening messages against Mr. Combs. The unrelenting tide of negative publicity and threatening social media posts resulting from defendant lies have caused and will continue to cause Mr. Combs severe reputational harm. Defendants' intentionally false and defamatory statements have also poisoned the minds of the overwhelmingly majority of individuals residing in the Southern District of New York who might qualify as jury service and potentially sit on the jury in Mr. Combs' trial beginning May 2025. Thus, in addition to all the other harms resulting from defendants' unlawful false statements, they have also deprived him of any meaningful opportunity for a fair trial on the government's charges against him. He is suing for defamation because They have made false assertions. Burgess has claimed that he was in possession of videos depicting plaintiff was involved in SA with other celebrities and minors, and that Mitchell was in possession of information corroborating those allegations of those heinous sexual acts or assaults. Let's see, defendants about wait. These statements published by defendants about plaintiff accused plaintiff of committing a serious crime and engaging in sexual misconduct. These statements published by defendants about plaintiff were defamatory. The statements published by defendants caused substantial reputational and financial harm to plaintiff and damaged his right to a fair trial on the government's charges against them. Defendants published these statements without privilege to a third party. Defendants published these statements with actual malice. And these statements without knowledge, with knowledge of their falsity or reckless disregard for the veracity. Now, here's the crazy part about this. Sir, your reputation when that first complaint came out with Cassie, that is when your reputation sinked. When you lied and you posted on your social media saying that everything that came out was a lie, and then a video comes showing you dragging her down the hall, that's when your reputation diminished. That's when you started going down the hole as far as financial wise. They took the key to the city. They took your honorary degree. People stopped wanting to do business with you. So your reputation was already in the toilet. But good luck on this case though. He asking for 50, nothing less than $50 million. He needs some type of money in order to pay for all those SA lawsuits he has against them. Actually, he needs the money to probably pay his attorneys because you got about darn near 200 SA cases against you and a whole federal indictment. You got a whole criminal case you got to worry about, my boy. Y'all, now, I don't agree with the way that Ariel Mitchell, the attorney, is, her role in these things. I am skeptical because I initially heard about Courtney Burgess and the book with Kim Porter, but I never really paid attention to it. I didn't do, any further research or kept up with that story because I was like, okay, well, if you have, you know, tapes, if you have flash drives, why don't you hand them to the feds? Why are you making this job hard if you have that information? If she called you, why can't you produce phone records that say, hey, here on this date she called me, and we'll be done with it. So I am side eyeing Courtney, and I'm definitely side eyeing Ariel Mitchell, the attorney, because what are you doing? How are you going to corroborate something? How are you going to link yourself with somebody that you clearly know does not have this? Huh? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So Diddy has a right to sue. It is defamation. You sitting there putting out lies that you are not fact checking, and I'm talking about the news people. The attorney, you failed to do your due diligence to see, like, why are you corroborating a story? And she even lied saying that there was a police report. Comes the lawsuits, no police report was ever filed. Make it make sense. These are the type of cases that kind of knocks 5 or 6 SA cases out the window because you have stupid stuff like this happening. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed. Bye.